Hi everyone, I'm Sibo, and today we're going to take a look at generating a short report using SvanNET, and we're also going to take a look at some of the event triggers that you also are able to view on SvanNET. So on our SvanNET page, we go to our project list, we select our project, and we go into the view page. And in the view page, this is essentially our workbook. So anything we can do over here, we are able to change the parameters. So for example, in your report, if you only want to include the LAeq, we can go ahead and remove the LC peaks, the LAF max on your chart. And then if you also want to do add limit lines, we are also able to do that, just so that it makes it a little bit more visually clear for whoever you're trying to provide the report for. So what we're going to first take a look at is changing the parameters so that you are only able to view in LAeq, for example. So on my chart, if I go to the edit button on the settings cog, and by default it would show me my measurement point 1 and all of the parameters that I have and what's currently selected. So if I unselect the parameters that I don't want to view and I just select apply, and as you can see on my first chart, it would show me just the LAeq. I would then need to do the same for the remaining charts that I have, or the remaining measurement points that I have. Once I'm happy with how my workbook is displaying my results, I can then, so for example, let's say that you want to generate a quick report dating back a week or the last hour or the last day. This may vary depending on your needs. What you can do is you go to the settings cog on the charts and you select a time range. So in the time range, you can select a default period, last hour, last day, last week, last month, or if you have a fixed period that you're trying to recall data from like 2 months ago, for example, you go to a fixed period and you select the date from and to. And what you can then do as well is select a logger step that you want to view your results. So for example, I want to view a 1 hour LAeq or a 15-minute LAeq on my report, so I can select. And so for today's instance, I just want to view the data based on the last week. Once I have selected my parameters, and I can select apply, and this would change the views on my chart, and then it will display my results in LAeq 15 minutes. So as you can see, when I move my cursor on the right hand side, it will tell me LAeq 15 minutes. And let's say, for example, I have already set up audio event or alert or any exceeding thresholds, and I would like to add them into my workbook. I can go to the big settings cog where it says edit project, and I scroll down to where it says add new panel, and I select panel type, and under panel type I am looking for events. So this would give me an events chart. So as you can see on the bottom of my workbook, I will have events. So these are my events that I have set up on the device. And the difference between my first event and my second event is, on the first event, this would just show me the exceedant level of my LAeq. And if I select, so if your event do have audio clips attached to them as well, you would see a little audio symbol next to the event. And if you scroll down to the event, you will also be able to see a play button, which you can play back the audio and listen to your event. However, you won't be able to include the audio file in your reporting. This would just be an example of being able to view your report. So once we have configured our report template, and we can see, in order for us to include these events in our reports, I'm just going to select a few events which I would like them, for example, to be included in our report. And as you can see down here, and these are my events that have been selected, and I want to generate a report to include them. I just select generate a report, and I'm going to select it PDF, and this will take 1 to 2 minutes to generate. Once the report has generated, just select yes to download the report, and if I open the file, the PDF file, I will then be able to have a look at my report, and what's been in my workbook will be exported, and I have a list of all of my events, and when they happen to be included in my report, I can then forward this on to whoever is needed.